Hi, this is Randy. I hate making this video, but I just got a comment from Serena Nightshade, a well-known author, on the topic of narcissism and narcissistic abuse, covert somatic spousal predators. So, Serena Nightshade says that there is a chemistry trap, that feeling chemistry for someone, apparently at the beginning when you meet them, or maybe after a couple of encounters face to face, that when you feel that chemistry, I'm assuming she's saying that that is a trap. And she says that we as victims of the narcissist predator, including myself, are likely not stimulated by non-predators anymore, or I guess if we ever were, would also be a question. And her advice is to find, pursue a purely compassionate love and hope that the other pieces fall into place. So that would be the chemistry falls into place. And I have heard this piece of advice from others who really don't even have anything to do with narcissism, understanding narcissism, or being victims or survivors of narcissistic relationships. That pursuing this compassionate love relationship without any chemistry or physical attraction is the way to go. And I am severely resistant to this idea. I'm not saying it's not true, and I do believe it may be true for other people. I have not found it to be the case or true in my situation, in my case. And I don't even think that it has to do with the relationship with the narcissist, because I was married before I met the narcissist and married him. I don't really think that my first husband was a narcissist, although he was a drug addict and a loser, but that kind of excitement, he was irresponsible. That kind of chemistry and excitement really wasn't there with the first husband. It was more of a like friendship thing, someone I met in grade school, and as a Catholic girl just kind of thought, you know, I'm never going to meet anybody else. This is somebody that's got a good family, and you know, this is what I need to pursue, and need to get married, you know, in my 20s and have kids and follow along. I'm not going to meet anybody else, that kind of stuff. It was kind of a narrow kind of a worldview, and it was colored by that Catholic girl view of the world, that, you know, you're going to marry the first person you have sex with, etc. So I don't think my first husband was a narcissist, but I definitely, there wasn't a ton of chemistry there. It was just more like ended up kind of being more brother-sister, comfort level. I've known you this long. And then it was very easy to divorce him. I did not have to recover from it. It was not any kind of horrible experience trying to get over him. The worst part was just trying to deal with him, because I had a son with him and had to keep in contact with him due to visitation and child support payments, which were very low and rarely forthcoming. But that aside from the point, I did not find a lot of men in my whole life that I am attracted to. Even when I was young, I was extremely picky. I did not find physical, chemistry attraction to very many guys, I would say, when other people did. And they didn't understand why I didn't feel that chemistry, how I was so picky, not really interested or excited about anybody. So then when I did get excited about somebody, I went overboard because it was like, oh my gosh, finally, you know, here's one, you know, it's like, it's rare. It's like, you know, it's a 0.0005%, and here's one. It's like, so then I will always like go for it if I could find that rare one. So I think I might be doubly or triply handicapped in terms of looking for that chemistry and excitement, not only because I've now experienced that kind of a trap with the narcissist, but because even before the narcissist, my standards and my pickiness was extremely like odd, and I can't really say that there was a certain type, but I did find very few that I was really excited about. This one guy I found that I was really excited about, and I totally would have married him. I have met up with him again in the past few years and had maintained contact with him. Now he's not available, and the reason I like and love him is not because he's not available now. I always did ever since I met him when I was 19. So, but currently he's unavailable. Anyway, I know that I am capable of having attraction and chemistry with somebody, and I do believe that I'm capable of having it and achieving that without a narcissist. It's just the rare case. It's just the infrequent amount. And now that we're older, you know, any possibilities, you know, half of them are married, so you have to take all those out of the equation. And I really resist this advice on trying to go with somebody without chemistry, because I've done that. I've done that since the narcissist. I have gone on tons of dates and there's been no chemistry. Some of them I have gone on a second date. A couple of guys I had chemistry with, and I went out with them for like 5 or 6 weeks. Another guy, I told him I just want to be friends, and I tried it for 6 months, going out with him, being non-sexual, and seeing if that anything would develop, that compassionate love that Serena mentioned. And no, I mean, yeah, maybe he had it for me. I mean, he kind of continued to try. He was willing to do all sorts of things for me, which I didn't necessarily ask. Take me places, have fun, decent conversations, be appropriate. But when it came right down to it, like, if I don't want to be touched by the guy, and like, I don't want to touch his hand even, and I've been like seeing him for 6 months, you know, joking around, having drinks, going places, but yet when he touches my hand I get the willies, or if he touches my shoulder or my knee or something, I'm like wanting to bolt. I mean, that's not only a lack of chemistry, that's like, you know, a deterrent. That's like, you know, repulsiveness. And I can't just continue to like be with somebody who kind of repulses me. It sounds like black and white. It sounds like it's either got to be all the way or nothing. And for me, it kind of does. I don't get that slow flow, that slow development of interest and, quote, compassion. It's like either there or not. And I'm not saying that what Serena says is wrong, but it does not seem to apply to me. I will keep trying, but one of the worst things I find is having to reject these guys and tell them I just want to be friends after, a couple of dates. And it's even harder the further along it goes, because that is definitely not what they're wanting. If they continue to ask me out, they're obviously not looking for a friend, and I know that they hate that kind of junk. And any guy that accepts it for too long, in a way, I would lose respect for him too, because I would see that guy as a sucker. I mean, basically, I'm between that rock and a hard place. My mind and my attraction and my history of pickiness, my history of victimization, and then like the kind of repulsive things that go through my mind when I'm even like touched, or even something is kind of alluded to regarding sex with somebody that I'm not attracted to. I mean, I think about, even, I envision myself, slapping the guy, or like, I just have these triggers. I'm easily triggered in anger of somebody that makes a comment to me that is unwelcome or unwanted. So I don't know if anybody else feels this way. I suspect that some people do. And I really don't, please don't give me any more advice on this. I mean, I hear that it happens for some other people. I hear that it works. And like I said, I have tried it. I probably will keep trying it. But I don't think it's going to work for me. And that's just maybe my negative thinking. But I wanted to get that out, because this has been a point of contention with me, and hearing that this is something that I should just kind of give up, is let it go, let it go, let go of having to have chemistry with a guy. And it's like, when I think about that, it's like, well, then what's the point? If I gotta let go of having chemistry, then what's the point? I mean, I'll go out with my girlfriends then. They're just as fun. A lot less maintenance sometimes. So if I gotta let go of chemistry, what would really be the point? So thank you, Serena, for your thoughts, and be curious to see what other people think about this. Have a great day.